So I know this isn't the first time we've talked about this player. We've documented the struggles he's gone through, the ups and downs, the career so far. This guy was drafted back in 2016, and it has not been smooth sailing since then. Up and down in the NHL to the AHL, back over to Europe, coming back to the National Hockey League, playing well, playing subpar, and eventually doing what he's doing now, which is really not playing all too well. Let's talk today about the Oilers' favorite trade target piece, Jesse Puljujarvi. Because when it comes to the 24-year-old 6'4", 201 right-handed forward signed till the end of this season, making $3 million a year, we've talked about this before, but Puljujarvi is not on pace to matching the very good season he had last year, wherein he had 36 points in 65 games played. He had 14 goals and 20 assists back then. This season, he's only got 6 points in 27 games. He is on pace for 18 total points over the span of an 82-game year. And when you take a look at the impact that Puljujarvi had last year versus now, it's quite dire seeing the difference here. And when it comes to the reputation, there are a lot of Oilers fans that are talking about whether it is worth it to keep Puljujarvi around long term, whether or not his development is kind of shunted in a way, and whether or not he really has anything more to be able to grow from in the Edmonton Oilers system. We've talked about this a lot before. It's been discussed on the channel in so many videos, so you can find discussion on that if you just Google search it away. But when it comes to Puljujarvi himself, this is the first time we're making a video about somebody wherein he's kind of calling himself out, and not just doing so in a media comment where he has one sentence where he says that he sucks and then we'll read it and we'll be on our way. This is an extended interview. Let's go over onto this Finnish news website, yle.fi. It's apparent to me that this is a sports column, or at least there is a sporting category on this Finnish website. And what they did was they interviewed Jesse Puljujarvi and asked him about his Edmonton Oilers tenure so far, and the answers he gives are quite daunting. Take a look at the title of this article right here, translated from Finnish into English via the Google machine. Jesse Puljujarvi whips himself violently. He talks directly about playing alongside of superstars, and he says that it seems I'm not up to the role. Edmonton's Jesse Puljujarvi has drifted into the middle of an incomprehensible identity crisis, which creates a big threat even to the continuation of his NHL career. Bro, Puljujarvi is talking about his own NHL career and how that's in jeopardy right now. He says that he may not be up to the task to play alongside of superstar players. Take a look at the first paragraph. Last season started almost perfectly for Puljujarvi. Coming into 2021's Christmas, the striker from Oulu had recorded an impressive performance of 23 points in 28 games played. Puljujarvi, who was looking for a fast pace for his NHL career, was found in the league's point exchange at the 58th place before Christmas, just 1 point behind Patrick Kane and Nathan MacKinnon. This was supposed to be the part of his career where it was on track. Unfortunately, at the same time, drugs in Edmonton began to grow. Okay, no. That's a mistranslation. I'm not going to go out there and say that Puljujarvi is going out there and doing any drugs, but that's the way the phrasing is translated here from Finnish into English. Take a look at what happened here. First, the effects disappeared from his game, after which Puljujarvi has completely lost himself as a player. This is what he says in the quote. Now, I'm looking for what kind of player I would be in the end, when I don't feel like I really fit into anything here. Puljujarvi reached out over to YLE from Edmonton. The article expands more so in the context as to how Puljujarvi's tenure has gone, how in 2022 the guy only has 5 hits in 63 matches, and now he only has 19 points. His performance is weak, considering how much the Finn has played alongside a superstar Connor McDavid. At the same time, there's been confidence in coaching that's been declining. On the other hand, Puljujarvi has been able to play alongside of a lot of McDavid minutes these days. That result should come with him by his side. I've thought about it a lot. Why the effects are not coming now? It used to happen, and now I'm older, more experienced, and certainly a better player than I was back then. Many have been allowed to play with McDavid, but maybe I just don't have enough for that role. It goes without saying that the situation is difficult and frustrating for Puljujarvi. At the same time, he's in the media almost every day, and not in a positive way. He assures that he does not take the media's criticism personally, but at the same time, the final breaking of the tendon is starting to be heard from his speech. Oh boy, that's a really articulate sentence. How Puljujarvi, even though he may not be letting the media get to him directly per se, it's very apparent in his language, in the way that he talks, that the tendon is starting to be heard. Ooh, man, that's a nasty sentence. Now I've started to tackle. I'm the strongest tackler in the room, which is something positive. Of course, I still want that role of decision maker on the Edmonton Oilers, Puljujarvi says. That's the kind of player I want to be. But now, it seems that I'm not cut out for that role in the NHL. Maybe it's in another league, Puljujarvi whips on himself. Now, the rest of the piece goes over how he's really struggled to start out the season, how last season he actually didn't struggle, and how nowadays he's no longer on the power play, and he's getting reduced 5-on-5 time. Puljujarvi, who got his puck-bringing skills in Carpe, is one of the weakest players on his team with 5 against 5. For example, when the Finn is on the ice, the Oilers have lost their games 5-5, and they've been giving up goals 7-19. Lukema is the team's weakest attacker. Okay, I don't know why they call him Lukema. Maybe that's just a mistranslation. He's the weakest attacker, according to the website here. The most significant attention is related to how Puljujarvi's developed statistics of 5v5 have collapsed in a year. And that is absolutely terrible. How this article was written about in a Finnish news outlet. How Puljujarvi, they call himself whipping himself violently. And how he says that he may not be up to the role. How he might have to find a different league to be an effective hockey player in the vein that he wanted to fulfill. When was the last time a player went out there and had such an extensive interview talking about how he's been bad? This has not happened before. And so, for Jesse Puljujarvi, I'll still say the same things that we had said before. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. I wanted him to be a good player. Last season, when he was really getting everything under control, we made a video talking about how Puljujarvi, we had the revenge or the redemption of Puljujarvi. This was him going out there and showing off that he was worth keeping around. This season, though, it hasn't been that easy, and now, I mean, the guy's on pace for a really low productive season. Let's take a look at the numbers once more. He's on pace for 18, which would be a career low ever since his rookie season in 2016-17. That's not great. I mean, okay, he had 9 points in 46 games played in 2018-19, but yeah, that was significantly reduced. So I'm not really too sure where we're going to go from here, because based off of this interview, it appears that confidence is also lacking from Puljujarvi's overall profile. Sure, that he might be going out there and not taking the media's criticism personally, but the article says, man, from the way he's talking, you can hear the tendons starting to break. How there's so little remaining on the bone here. Not just in terms of the overall play, but potentially in the guy's confidence too. It's so unfortunate to see, and all I can do is really hope for the best when it comes to Puljujarvi and the profile that he has, because this is a really cool, lovable guy. And it sucks seeing guys that happen to be fan favorites personally, not because of their on-ice play necessarily, but because of their personality, go through slumps like we're seeing Puljujarvi go through at the moment. So, ton of the comments are your thoughts about JP13, the interview he did with this Finnish news outlet. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and read the article and translate that into English on your own time. Where do you see Puljujarvi going from here? Do you think he's going to finish off his career in Edmonton? Do you think he gets traded? Do you think he goes back overseas? Do you think he ends up yeeting away soon? He expires in 2023. Is that the timeline here for Jesse Puljujarvi? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.